All right.
Okay, we're back with part two with Hans here. Thank you so much for coming back, Hans. I really, really appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy. So, right before the break, I know a lot of you listening or watching are interested on Hans's very unique strategy. So, what you did, and I think this is very smart on your part, you've identified a large audience of people who want some sort of producer credit, whether it's an associate producer, a co-executive producer, whatever. And you created a very unique strategy on eBay and social media. Can you delve into that?
Yeah. So going to what your example was on eBay for that example, Stephen Smith, the guy I was mentioning earlier, that's how I actually met him, was on AOL and eBay, because I saw he was posting his credits for sale in his movies on eBay. And I thought that was a really cool strategy. So that's how I reached out to him on AOL Messenger, say I want to get involved with your projects. And that's how I started raising money for some of the films I was doing too. And I actually helped Stephen Smith build some of the eBay credits that he was selling. I would put it on my eBay listing instead. So he didn't have to do anything at work. I would just do it, and whatever came in, I would hold on to it or pledge it into his campaigns when he was running campaigns. So basically with the eBay credits is, I see a lot of people doing this now. You sell associate producer credits, co-producer credits, executive producer credits, and I do the PA credits as well. I always keep those very, very low. So I've gotten a lot of regular buyers that come back and say, hey, I want to give you $100 or $200 for an associate producer credit on your next film. And I work out a deal with them, and I get the ones that say, hey, I want to work with you too. But all the stuff that I do is always so far away, and they're not able to travel. So I said, I'll let you know when the next one comes around.
Very cool.
Then I get people that reach out and make offers too on eBay for those credits. And I just work a relationship with them, and it's really cool. And they're always coming back for more. One thing I do put in my eBay listing, just so it's crystal clear, that if they're giving me $100 or $200, it's for their IMDb and film credit only. There's no profit sharing. You don't have creative say or control over the project. So I always put that disclaimer in there so they know what they're getting themselves into. And if they're interested in investing and actually getting points on the back end, stuff like that, that's a discussion that you would have off eBay, because eBay doesn't allow conversations like that in their emails. They flag that stuff down very quickly if you start talking about investing. Like algorithm knows those words, and they will not send a message out. It's really weird how it works.
Yeah, and you got to be careful about that with people you don't know anyway. So it's
Yeah.
better to kind of build up that relationship, and maybe they come in for more money down the road or as an actual investment, as opposed to what you're talking about. In some cases, it's a donation, correct?
Yeah, very correct.
Almost like Kickstarter or Indiegogo.
Yeah. And here's another strategy that I've just learned from another friend of mine that I just worked with earlier in January. He is raising his money now on Facebook using groups. So what he does is he creates a group page, a private group page for the movie that he's raising money for, and he invites all these people that are fans of like horror movies and this and that, and he's just crushing his goal every day.
Wow.
He's getting money because he keeps posting the link to his crowdfunder page on there, and people are giving him $10, $5, $150, $300, and sometimes he has the people, instead of pledging it on the page, that he has them send me the money, because they don't want to use their credit card on when they make their pledge. So he has them send me the money on PayPal, and I go to his crowdfunder page. I make the pledge on their behalf, and then I use that money that I get from the PayPal to pay myself back on my credit card. So I'm able to help him out that
So
way.
you're avoiding the fees.
What's that?
You're avoiding some of the fees, or is
Yeah,
that just
avoiding some of the
logistically
fees,
easier?
yeah, and it's easier. And those people that are giving money, some of them don't want to like use their credit card on some of those crowdfunder pages, and I understand that. So they say, here, I'll PayPal you
Oh, okay.
this money. So Chris always says, hey, I got money coming in for you today. Be on the lookout for it. And so I'll one day I had $1,000 sitting in my PayPal from a friend of
Okay.
his. So I had to
Okay.
pledge that $1,000 on my credit card, and then I just paid myself back. So I get the Sky Miles. That's a bonus.
There you go.
Yeah.
So shifting gears a little bit, that's really some incredible advice, especially for first and second time filmmakers that might be doing a film, under $100,000. But let's shift gears a little bit to a slightly higher budget film. I know you've done some bigger budgeted films where you're talking to slightly larger investors, like over 1,000, like maybe $5,000, $10,000. How important would you say it is to actually talk with that type of investor versus someone just putting in $500 or whatever you can just do online?
I definitely think like face-to-face meetings are good for investors like that, and to also show them the past work that you've done, the quality of work that you've done, and the returns that you've gotten from past projects as well. And when you have names on board your films, it gets them more excited. And for example, like the Mahal brothers, I've tried to reach out to people that could give higher money because of those films. I mean, you got Tara Reid, Robert Lasardo, Costas Mandylor, all these people that are well known in the film industry. It gets them excited. It's like, hey, if you give X amount of money, you get an executive producer credit, you get points on the back end of this movie. You might be able to be in a scene with Tara, and some of these people have given money because of that, and the director and producer make sure that they get their scenes written in with the Tara Reid or Robert Lasardo. So and then just seeing the track record is just really important. Is where have your films gone when they've come out? Uh, One compliment I got from a friend of mine is your films always get complete and get released. There's other people out there that they make their film and then it just sits there in post and nothing ever happens. So your films always get done from start to finish and they get out there. How do you do it? It's like, well, you got to put together a good team of people that can do start to finish and work well together, and just believe in the project that they're working on. So that's how I get other higher end investors involved. And I've had those meetings at, hotel restaurants and Starbucks and Coffee Beans and things like that. And, it's fun. You might develop another relationship with somebody, a friendship. And if they can't help you out on that project, they might say, hey, I might be able to help you out on the next one. So it's always good to keep those relationships strong, and like I said, don't burn those bridges.
So true. So true. So you and I both started 20 plus years ago in Orlando, Florida, and we both witnessed these huge movies like the Blair Witch Project, Waiting, um, Alligator Alley had a small theatrical, but there are a couple films that really hit it big, and I want I always try to share this advice to all filmmakers, especially when they're first starting out, the importance of having a side hustle, a paid job, a part-time gig, whatever it is. So you're not relying on that one movie to hit it big that's just going to pour money into your bank account for, years. Um, Tell us a little bit about your sweet gig you have on the Warner Brother Ranch and how it's worked out for you in between all your productions.
um, well, 2016, March 2016, my friend Steve Dale, he's a second AD, first AD. I worked with him on a lot of other projects in the past. It's all about developing that relationship, that working relationship with people. He just texts me out of the blue and says, hey, I'm starting Animal Kingdom next week. Are you working? I said, nope, I'm in. Whatever you want, I'm in. He's like, all right, cool. You got to come in for an interview to meet Kelly, the AD. I'm like, oh, I know who she is. I've worked with her before. He's like, good. She'll know who you are too. So I went to the interview, and I met Kelly and she's like, oh, good to see you again, Hans. So this is how the show is going to go. And, you guys all have the job. I just wanted to meet you guys and just let you know this is the rundown of the show. And we don't do sides on the show because a lot of stand-ins, they make you have sides and things. This, we don't have any sides. We just
Wow.
watch our actors do the marking, and we have to remember their blocking. And that's when my journey began with Animal Kingdom in 2016. It's been on 5 seasons now. We had to stop on season 5, episode 6 because of the pandemic. We're just waiting on the green light to restart soon. Hopefully soon. I'm like missing my Animal Kingdom family. I want to get back to work. But that job has been just such a blessing. Like every year, I'm able to time everything out where I work January through June. I make my money. I put some aside in savings for the dry times. And then after June, my schedule is completely opened up where I can do other things. I do a lot of catering on the side to help out. But if a project comes up in the fall, I'm completely available to do it in the fall. So it's been able to balance everything out, and I've developed a good relationship with everybody on set on that show, and I love working with everybody there, and they're just such a fantastic group, and it's like a well-oiled machine, and it's a job I'm very thankful for. And I know there's other people out there that have asked me, don't you want to be an actor though? I said, of course I do. But this is guaranteed income for me that I can make right now. And when I'm not working the other 6 months out of the year, I can focus on acting as well. So I'd rather have a job that's guaranteeing me income, that's in the industry, and that's keeping me connected with people, as opposed to like, hey, if you got money to be able to go out and audition every day and be able to throw off that, that's awesome.
God bless you.
I'm totally for that too. But for people that don't get to go out and audition a lot, I would rather just have a nice solid job in the industry, and then the other 6 months out of the year I can focus on acting and producing stuff. And it's worked well for me every single year. And
Yeah.
hey, to each their own. But that's how I've done it, and that's how I've looked at how my path has been the past 5 years.
I think it's also a great thing to share with potential investors, because every once in a while you'll get a new potential investor they're looking at the top sheet, your budget, and they're just curious, like, how much salary are you taking? And I never take an egregious salary when I'm producing. I take a fair salary. But they'll also want to know what happens when you're done with post-production, or what happens before you actually start the pre-production. What are you doing for money? I think it's a comforting feeling for most potential investors that you have a balance of your own personal finances, that you're not just going to keep raising money and dilute their shares by, sucking money off of the production.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So,
I totally agree with that.
So any last minute advice you want to share with filmmakers on raising money? Because that seems to be the biggest bottleneck for all filmmakers, is where do they get the money for their first film or their next film?
I would say just keep networking on social media, on Facebook especially, and keep an eye out, like when people are posting projects like on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and you have all these people commenting and backing the projects. There's people that reach out to those people that are backing those projects and say, hey, I've got this one going on too. And it works out where they actually get money from that person that gave money to the other project that they saw on social media. So it's all about reaching out to people, being respectful, and just seeing what their track record is on pledging for projects, seeing if they're maybe interested in doing one for yours as well. And it's worked for me. But
Wow.
if they say no, just be like, hey, no worries, man. I get you on the next one. Then you
So let me ask you this. So you'll go to a Indiegogo or a Kickstarter Seed and Spark campaign, and you'll identify someone that's given a large chunk of money. I mean, you're not looking at $10, $50 investors. And you'll just reach out to them blind saying, hey, I'm a filmmaker. Would you consider investing in my money for actual points as opposed to donating? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of both. And I'm also looking at people that want to keep building their credits or want acting opportunities as well. Um, and yeah, it somehow just works out. But the key thing is just being very active on social media. And Facebook to me is like my LinkedIn. I have LinkedIn. It's I've used it sometimes to reach out to people, but everybody seems to be on Facebook, and that's where I do all of my networking. And I've met people in the industry that I want to connect with, and I say, hey, so what's your Facebook page? I'll add you. And they're like, oh, I don't do Facebook. And I said, what? You don't do Facebook? No, I don't. Like, well, a lot of this industry is run now on Facebook. All the casting and all the background casting, all that stuff is done now on social media. Casting directors look at your following on Instagram, all that stuff.
Yeah,
So you don't.
Instagram's big too. But I think as long as you have, one or two, preferably at least two strong platforms, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, it is smart. I mean, you got to stay
Yeah,
connected.
yeah, absolutely.
So, what's your latest film? I can see Another Plan from Outer Space right behind you. Great film, by the way. I was proud to be part of it. Um, what's your latest film, or should I say films, plural? And what's the best way people can follow you? I know you have your own YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. Um, well, the film that I did in Orlando called Todd, that's in post production, it's almost done. I played the role of Todd, and I'm also one of the producers on the film. We're gonna have a screening for that, hopefully in August in Orlando. I think the theaters are opening up now at certain capacities, so we're looking into that. And then next month, I'm going up to Vegas to do Bloodthirst with Tara Reid and Robert Lasardo and Costas Mandalore. I'm
Awesome.
playing Empire. I'll be up there for a few days, and I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun. It's another movie with the Mahal brothers. And then we have Attack of the Unknown. That's a film that I also did with the Mahal brothers. That's coming out in limited theatrical release on August 28th. And it'll be out on DVD, Blu-ray, VOD as well. You just got to keep plugging away, turning the wheel.
Congrats.
So those are my recent ones. And then Another Plan from Outer Space, I keep promoting that. We have, a line of toys coming out through LOD Toy Enterprises from Green Bay, Wisconsin. They are made figures based off our characters from the movie, which is just a dream come true. I think it's really awesome. They're going to be putting those out in the fall. And we have some other festivals that we've submitted the film to. And this film, I'm not going to stop promoting. Like, I'm going to keep plugging away at it because I've gotten so much good feedback about
It's a
the
great
movie.
film. It's a great film.
Really proud of that one. So
Me too.
yeah.
And what's the best way to connect with you?
Oh, I do have a YouTube channel. Just type in my name, Hans Hernke. I do like food reviews, trip videos, lots of Disneyland videos, film reviews, all sorts of things. Like, I try to keep my content on my channel very diverse, so there's lots of things to look at. Instagram, my name is Hans Hernke on there. Facebook, I have a personal page and a fan page. So if you want to add me and then like my fan page, that's awesome too. And yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you have any projects that you want me to check out, or if you just need any advice about raising money or trying to talk to people, just let me know.
That's very, very generous of you. So I know you don't have a Tesla yet, but you've come a long way from sleeping on that cot. You truly are. We need to kind of remind ourselves because we get so caught up on the day-to-day grind, but you are living the dream. I mean, you married a beautiful wife. You're acting all over the world. You're working with Academy Award winners. You've already produced more movies than most people could dream about their entire lives. So I just wanted to thank you again, Hans. I really appreciate your being here.
Well, thank you for the kind words, man. I really appreciate it. And I always love working with you, Scott. So let's do it again soon.
Sounds great. Tune in next week, or for more info, visit financeyourmovie.com. Thank you for listening. And remember, if you've got a story to tell the world, never give up on your dream.